The Tennessee Titans have won the toss and elected to receive. So the Minnesota Vikings and Ryan Longwell are set to kick off as we start the preseason. Mark Mariani, after a Pro Bowl rookie season, back to return for the Tennessee Titans, and the fans are on their feet. Mariani from the 1. Across the 20 and knocked down just shy of the 30-yard line. Now we go to the third member of our broadcast team, or fourth this year, Dawn Davenport.
Well, after battling in the trenches for 12 years on the field, Mike Munchak earned the reputation of a no-nonsense kind of guy, always in control. But don't let that fool you. The head man said he has butterflies coming into tonight's game, and he said he might need the preseason maybe even more than some of his players do. With that being said, the Titans will keep it very simple tonight, guys, on both sides of the ball.
Thank you, Dawn. Matt Hasselbeck under center for the first time for the Tennessee Titans, taking over on 1st and 10 at the 27. It's a handoff to Javon Ringer. He's got a huge hole and tackled down after a 10-yard gain, but we've got a flag on the play, and this one is coming back. So it's a procedure penalty on the Titans. It's going to cost him 5 yards. And it's going to be 1st and 15. You see Matt Hasselbeck, the prize for the Tennessee Titans, actually their prime target once the new CBA was signed, bringing him in on a 3-year deal. You see the numbers, just shy of 30,000 career yards, 176 touchdowns. He's played in 3 Pro Bowls and 1 Super Bowl. 1st and 15, Hasselbeck dumps off to the fullback. Ahmad Hall hurdling a tackler. And Ahmad is across the 30-yard line. All right, let's take a look at your Tennessee Dairy Farmers starting lineup, starting with the offensive line. Michael Ruse shaking off a bad back earlier in training camp to start at left tackle. Then it's Harris, Amano, Scott, and Stewart. They're all back from last year. Backs and receivers, Craig Stevens, Nate Washington, Ahmad Hall, Javon Ringer, and Justin Gage starting tonight for Kenny Britt. 2nd down, 5 to go from the 32-yard line. That was a gain of 10. Hasselbeck looking to throw again. He's got his man. It's beautifully caught at the 50-yard line. Lavelle Hawkins for a Titans first down, a gain of 20. All right, let's take a look. Lavelle Hawkins laying out for this one, guys.
Yeah, a nice job by Hasselbeck to put the ball in the spot where only he can catch the ball, and Hasselbeck is doing the hurry up right now. It's a good job of getting it out there to Lavelle Hawkins.
Well, they're preaching tempo, and they're running plays quickly. It's Javon Ringer over the middle, down inside the 40, a gain of 9. You guys, Coach Munchak was preaching tempo to us last night. We're seeing it here tonight on the opening drive.
Absolutely we are. Just really going up tempo, getting in and out of the huddle after that penalty to set them back a little bit. Got the screen, got the big first down. Now we're starting to see the Titans move the football.
Hard on a defense. The tempo of the offense dictates really, really good. I like to see that.
And now they've slowed things up and huddled up.
Yeah.
They're changing it up. So it's 2nd down and very short. Typically a good deep striking opportunity for the Titans. So far, Hasselbeck's 3 for 3 for 38. It's Ringer to the right side. He's got a first down. Tiptoeing close to the 30. All right, let's take a look at your Tennessee Dairy Farmers starting lineup on the defensive side of the ball for the Purple People Eaters from Minnesota. Brian Robeson, Remy Ayadel, Kevin Williams, and Jared Allen up front. Aaron Henderson, E.J. Henderson, and Chad Greenway at the linebackers. In the secondary, it's Winfield Johnson Abdullah and Asher Allen tonight. He gets the start for Cedric Griffin. That was a gain of 7 on the play for Javon Ringer, and the Titans offense has looked fantastic outside of 1 penalty to get this thing started. But as you would expect,
Preseason.
This is what the preseason is for, and when you've got a new coaching staff and all new quarterbacks, you're going to have a timeout or 2. We've got no score, 12:35 to play in the first quarter. You're watching Titans football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network. No score in the first quarter at LP Field, 12:35 to play with the Titans driving. The NFL welcoming the fans back to football. Nobody liked the lockout, the fans the very least, and the NFL did their best tonight to say thanks for hanging in there. You see the players and Mike Munchak and Bruce Matthews, a couple of Hall of Famers signing some autographs before the game. Back to football here It's 1st and 10 for the Titans from the 32-yard line. Javon Ringer one more time. A spin move out of a tackle. And Eddie, I think it's safe to say Javon Ringer looks fresh.
Yeah, Javon Ringer. I was always impressed with Javon Ringer, even when he was at Michigan State last year. Really played well. But you see here, picking his way through the hole, keeping his feet moving the pile, and sets up for a 2nd and 1. And that's what you want to do. This offensive line is so physical and so good. It opens up holes for guys like Javon Ringer and Chris Johnson.
Javon Ringer, 9 yards on that carry. He's got 2 for 15. Hasselbeck on play action. He's got Jared Cook for another Titans first down. Those two have had a great relationship in camp, and that could parlay into a very big season for the 3rd-year pro from South Carolina. Let's take a look at the battle in the trenches here as the Titans doing some good work.
Offensive line does a great job of sucking the defense in. Defensive end bites, nobody for contain on the backside, and big, strong, physical tight end. Cook does a great job.
That's 4 for 4 for Hasselbeck, an 8-yard gain, and it's 1st and 10. Nate Washington in motion. It's a draw, and the ball's on the field. Leroy Harris has a chance at it. It's still free, and the Titans finally fall on it way back at the 46-yard line. Discombobulation is the word that comes to mind.
Yeah, and again, that's probably a product of not having a lot of practice time of the OTAs. It's a simple
it looked like a high
exchange,
handoff.
a high handoff. Javon Ringer didn't have his elbow up high enough coming through the line of scrimmage, and it led to a fumble. So now we're looking at a 2nd and 46?
It was a loss of 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what do you call here? I think a screen would be sufficient.
I call Chris Johnson.
Well, he's in Orlando.
We'll touch on that later.
Yeah.
Of course, CJ not here tonight. Day 16 of his holdout. Hasselbeck to throw, just overshooting Justin Gage, setting up 3rd long. I guess we brought it up. We'll bring it up. Chris Johnson has not been in camp and has made his intentions clear that he will not come to camp without a new contract. Here's Justin Gage starting tonight for Kenny Britt.
Defensive back gets a good jam on the receiver. It's hard to get that timing route out when you get a good jam on the receiver in the first 5 yards.
But Matt Hasselbeck has largely looked good.
He looked really good. I mean, that ball was in a great place. I mean, just one more step by Justin Gage, there might have been a reception, but Hasselbeck has been very impressive on this drive.
4 receiver set for Hasselbeck on 3rd and forever, and there's your screen to Javon Ringer. Tackled inside the 40, he fumbles the football, and the Titans fall on it. I think it was Jake Scott who managed to get a hold of the football. That sets up 4th and a little less than forever.
Yeah, and again, you know, you want to see a lot of sloppy play like this, especially in the first preseason game, because now it's live. They're hitting and exchanges and fumbles and, you know, ball security. That's going to be a key issue tonight because it is hot, it's humid, and guys haven't been getting hit as hard as in camp.
Yeah, well, you know, it's kind of what you expect, though, in the preseason. You know, this being the first preseason game, you haven't had the continuity that an OTA or training camp can give you, so this is the result.
Brett Kern on to punt. Lorenzo Booker deep to return for the Vikings. Nice high knuckleball by Kern. And it hits inside the 15, and it's going to roll inside the 10. It's a funny of a kick by Kern. And the Titans down it at the 7-yard line. Well, a fumble kills the Titans' opening drive. So we head to the break, still scoreless. You're watching Titans football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network. 2 new head coaches tonight. Mike Munchak making his Titans debut. Leslie Frazier coached the last 6 games of the Vikings last year before getting the job on a full-time basis. Of course, Munchak's in the Hall of Fame, and Frazier was a part of that great 85 Bears defense where he was a cornerback. 1st and 10 for Donovan McNabb playing for his 3rd NFL team. First season, Minnesota, 1st and 10. Hands to Adrian Peterson. 2 guys who will get to know each other well. The Titans defense is there. Stopped for just about a 3-yard gain. Let's take a look at the Vikings lineup. On the offensive side of the ball, brought to you by the Tennessee Dairy Farmers. Their offensive line, huge. Johnson, Hutchison, Sullivan, DeGear, and Lodeholt, who weighs 343. Backs and receivers, we all know Adrian Peterson, D'Imperio's the fullback, Kleinsasser the tight end, Berrien and Harbin are the receivers. 2nd down and 7 for Donovan McNabb. Play action pass. He's got Kleinsasser, who's upended by Jason McCourty, just short of a first down. Here's your Titans starting defense, brought to you by the Tennessee Dairy Farmers. We start up front with the big guys, who are a little bit bigger this year. William Hayes at a defensive end, Jason Jones at the other. He moved out from tackle. Klug is a rookie from Iowa. Sean Smith, a free agent signee. Linebackers, Akeem Ayers, a second-round draft pick. Barrett Ruud from Tampa Bay, and Will Witherspoon. The secondary, McCourty, Hope Griffin, and Finnegan. They're all back from last year. Third and very short, but McNabb operates out of the gun. Looking to his left, and it's complete. Cortland Finnegan has the tackle, but it's very close to a first down. As the Titans go to the nickel guys, we're seeing Alteron Werner come in and play a corner, and Cortland Finnegan actually sliding in over the slot.
Well, Jerry Gray said that as a defense coordinator, he said that basically he's going to have to move Cortland Finnegan inside in the slot and actually let him play because he's more of a scrappy slot defender type guy, and having that third guy like Alteron Werner kind of gives them that versatility to be able to do that.
Well, now that they're not in the nickel, Werner's come off the field and Cord has slid back to the outside on 1st and 10. McNabb throws a quick hitter to Bernard Berrien. Nice tackle by Jason McCourty. That's about a 4-yard gain. A lot of quick hitting stuff from both teams to start this game, and that just makes a lot of sense at this point.
Well, early in the preseason especially, you want to establish tempo. You saw the Titans come out and, run plays, get the ball up there, get the ball snapped and get out there and get to action. And, the Minnesota Vikings want to do the same thing.
McNabb 3 for 3 for 13 yards. Second down. Another short pass to the tight end Kleinsasser. No fumble on the play. It's incomplete, setting up third down.
Nice reaction there by Will Witherspoon, 10-year linebacker. Really, really good player. They got a good linebacking core. Akeem Ayers is kind of the new member of this bunch, and I think with Barrett Ruud and Will Witherspoon with that much experience, Akeem Ayers is going to be a really good player. He's going to get a chance to really, fall into and learn from some really talented seasoned linebackers.
Titan linebackers haven't registered a lot of sacks over the years. With Akeem Ayers, that's going to change. At least it better change because he's going to get his opportunities. All right, third down for McNabb. He's got some pressure up the middle and dumps off. That's Gerhardt for the first down, the former Stanford great and Heisman Trophy finalist. McNabb doing a good job of finding his outlet man and keeping the chains moving. McNabb's an interesting guy because forever people have second-guessed him. All he's done is thrown for 36,000 yards,
Yes.
230 touchdowns. He's only got 115 picks. He's got a 2-to-1
for NFC
TD
championship
interception.
games.
Yeah, 4 championship games, a Super Bowl. Tough standards. 1st and 10. Another quick hitter, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. That was Akeem Ayers, the rookie from UCLA. 6'4", 250 pounds. This is pretty athletic.
Yeah, that's something that Keith Bullock used to bring years ago, in that athleticism. And that's what they see out of Akeem Ayers out of UCLA. He's an outstanding linebacker. He's big, he's physical, like you alluded to, Kevin. He can really learn with key veterans around him, and he can really flourish as the season goes on. 2nd and 10. It's a handoff to Gerhardt. He's got room up the middle, bangs his way forward. It looks like he's got a first down. Toby Gerhardt tackled by Michael Griffin. 6 foot, 231 pounds.
Toby Gerhardt is a load. Big, strong guy from Stanford. Man, big back.
I got to tell you, the first time I saw him on the field tonight, I thought he was the fullback. Just look at, he looks like a fullback.
He looks like it, but I have to tell you, looking at the Titans, one of the things they really wanted to focus on defensively was tackling a lot better. And I have to say, coming out tonight, even though it's the first 3 or 4 plays of the game, they're corralling to the ball. They're showing much more promise tackling in the open field, with the exception of the last play.
Well, you know what? The good thing about what they're doing now schematically, Jerry Gray says, look, we want to firm up our run gaps. We want to keep and maintain run gap integrity. And that means basically having a hat in every gap that a running back can possibly run through. When you have sound defense like that, when you have bigger guys in the middle, that can really step up the middle and force the edge, and everyone knows their responsibility. It makes it a little easier.
It's going to be 3rd down and about 6 inches to go. It's the 9th play of the drive coming up. It started at the 7-yard line. So far, the Vikings are 2 for 2 on 3rd down. We'll get more into some of the philosophical changes of this Titans defense. One aspect is it's bigger. It's physically heavier, and in situations like this, it gets put to the test. The handoff to Gerhardt. He's hit at the line. He's going to be dropped short of it. Jason Jones, the defensive end, making the move from tackle. Drops him for a 1-yard loss. Jarrell Casey, number 99, was in there. So was Sean Smith, who they just signed from the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a big Viking line, and they held their ground.
Yeah, you talked about the mass and the force up front, and it served well here. And I think Mike Munchak has to be happy to see that 1-yard stop by the Titans against a big back and a big offensive line of the Minnesota Vikings.
Chris Kluwe punting away to Mark Mariani. Mariani at the 24. Gets up close to the 30-yard line. So each team has had the football. Each has come up short of scoring. 4:52 to play. The first no score at LP Field. You're watching Titans football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network. No score in the first quarter at LP Field. Titans and Vikings. Titan fans, it's time to get back to football. Don't forget, a limited number of Titans single-game tickets are on sale now. Get your tickets and be there this season as a new era in Titans football begins at LP Field. Stop by the LP Field ticket office, call the toll-free number, go by any Ticketmaster, or log on to Ticketmaster.com to get your Titans single-game tickets. The Jake Locker era is underway. The first-round pick from Washington is in at quarterback and handing Javon Ringer. No place to go for Ringer, dropped for about 3. So Matt Hasselbeck is done. And didn't get any points, but I know both of you guys liked what you saw with the way he kind of ran things.
Yes, I mean, he comes in with so much credibility, demands respect in the huddle. I mean, that in itself is impressive, but his ability to recognize coverage, knowing what to check into, what to check out of, and finding his receivers and putting the ball in the right place is promising at that position for the Tennessee Titans this year.
You saw the numbers for Locker last year at Washington. The 8th pick of the draft, listed at 6'3", 230 pounds. And he hands off to Jamie Harper, the rookie out of Clemson, spinning forward across the 35 to the 37. Let's go down to Dawn Davenport for a little bit more on the first-round pick.
Well, guys, I just want to tell you, you can't take too much from the preseason because we've done a little history work. Locker's the 3rd quarterback drafted by the Titans in the first round since '95. You had McNair, and then, of course, 2006, you had Vince Young. McNair, not a good start. 4 possessions, he was sacked 4 times, fumbled the ball, recovered for a safety, 2 for 5 for 37 yards. Vince Young, not much better, 4 for 11 for 56 yards. He was also sacked twice. So Locker, no pressure to do well in the preseason.
Sounds to me like Jake needs to duck, guys. Locker throwing to Lavelle Hawkins for a first down. It's a strike.
Great decision.
And gain of 5.
They're daring him to throw. They're bringing 8 men in the box with 1 safety deep. And you're saying, listen, young rookie, you're going to throw the football. Let's see what you can do. And he makes a great decision. Lavelle Hawkins runs a quick slant to the inside. He sees it, gets a good body position. Not afraid to take the hit from the linebacker and Henderson, and they pick up the first down.
I'm a Jake Locker fan.
I am too.
I'm sorry. I am a Jake Locker fan all the way. I think he was a one-man wrecking crew in Washington. I think he didn't have a good supporting cast. I like Jake Locker.
What he did there was impressive. We'll go over that in a second. 1st and 10. He's throwing again. He's got Mariani, but a little miscommunication, and that one falls incomplete. Took over a team that went winless, and eventually his senior season leads them to a bowl victory over a very good Nebraska team. And also, that Nebraska team handed him the worst performance of his college career that season, and he comes back and beats them in a bowl game. There's just a lot to like about his mental, physical makeup in the way he handles adversity, he handles defeat, and he handles criticism. Jake Locker is very mature and very strong-armed, and we're going to see some of that. And a former baseball pitcher and a first-round pick. Locker hands to Harper. Harper over the right side. He's taken down after a gain of about 4 yards. Marcus Sherrills with the tackle. 5 yards for Harper, 4th-round pick out of Clemson.
And they really like this kid. He's a heavy kid, about 230 pounds. He brings the element of that pounder on the inside like Wendell White was for Chris Johnson a couple years ago. And that's going to help Chris Johnson out once he gets his contract resolved, him out with his carry so he doesn't have to take the pounding in between the tackles.
So Locker set up for 3rd down and 6 yards to go at the 47-yard line. 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Locker out of the gun. They're bringing the heat. Steps up in the pocket. He's got his man for a 1st down. Nice. Nate Washington is there, and Locker staring that pressure right in the face, guys.
Yeah, impressive. First time to get pressure. He does a nice little move. Just the good feet in the pocket, making somebody clearly miss. An unblocked linebacker and picks it up. I mean, just to show the poise, the ability in the pocket to extend the play. Very nice. I'm very impressed by that for a young rookie.
Jasper Brinkley whiffed on the play, number 54 from Minnesota.
Buying himself time to get the open receiver.
1st and 10, and a reverse to Mark Mariani. He's got Justin Gage with the block. Mariani's got a 1st down. Usually you don't see miniature plays in the preseason, but the Titans pulling one out there. Mark Mariani, who will have a role offensively, not just on special teams this year for the Titans. Won't be huge, but he'll have a role.
Showing the run to the right, selling it out. The Minnesota Viking defensive front, their front 7, they're so aggressive. Almost a holding call there.
Almost.
Yeah, it was a holding. They missed it. But it's a good job by selling the run, and it's set up for Marianne to come on the backside on the reverse.
11-yard gain, handoff to Harper. He's got, a shoestring tackle, and he falls at the 30-yard line. Harper's 5'11", 235. So that's a lot of mass on a shorter frame.
I said 31.
Yeah, well, you're close.
Yeah, I'm close.
He ate before the game, which is all good.
In the past, make a difference too.
That's going to be the last play of the first quarter of football here at LP Field. It was a hot and humid day. It's turned into a really pretty evening in Nashville, Tennessee. So Jake Locker heads to the sideline for some instruction from his offensive coordinator, Chris Palmer, as we head to the last seconds of a scoreless battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Minnesota Vikings. We'll be back with the second quarter in moments. You're watching Titans preseason football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network.
Runs in practice. Now we're seeing more of that in practice with the team drills over at the Titans facility, and it's translating well on the field here tonight. And they're able to run the football, blowing them off the ball, creating space for the running backs, and holding time for the quarterbacks.
Second down, and Jake Locker on play action throws it to Ahmad Hall, and he's dropped for about a 3 or a 4-yard loss. And Kevin, what are your thoughts? What have you liked in particular that you've seen so far?
Well, I like the trust that they're trying to establish with Jake Locker. They're not holding back. They're not putting him in situations where they're not trusting him to throw the ball downfield. I mean, like Eddie said earlier, there's 8 in the box. They got an extra safety coming down, so they're daring him to throw the ball. So, and Chris Palmer is giving him the reins and saying, hey, step back, make it happen, buy time for your receivers, and throw it downfield.
And he certainly doesn't look overwhelmed to this point. Now he's facing a 3rd and long and operates out of the shotgun with 4 receivers. Steps up and throws. Jared Cook, a fantastic grab at the 21-yard line. He did his best Plastic Man impersonation and went up and stretched for the 1st down.
This could be a huge year for Jared Cook, no matter who's at the quarterback position, because he's so athletic and so gifted. And this ball, I mean, just getting up there with the vertical, comes open, finds a hole within the defense, gets it for the 1st down. And I think who's ever at the quarterback position this year, Jared Cook will be their main target. In fact, I might draft him my fantasy football league this year.
13 yards for Cookie. 1st and 10. It's a handoff to Harper. Breaks out of a arm tackle. Down across the 20. Along those lines, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a very big year for Jared Cook. I think 60 catches is kind of the target I put him on, and would not be surprised to see him get over it. The Titans have entered the Pinnacle scoring zone. Score discounts on Titans gear with a new Titans checking account, or qualify for a free Titans jersey at titansbanking.com. Pinnacle, changing the way the game is played. 2nd and 9 for the Titans. Stephon Johnson is checked into the backfield. He'll be our topic of conversation tonight in Dawn Davenport's halftime feature. Johnson down close to the 15-yard line. We've got a flag on the play. He came in as he was going down.
And I'm really happy to see him back in action.
It's an amazing story.
After last preseason, to see how the injury occurred.
Holding. Offense, number 86. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Yeah, he was almost killed at Southern Cal in that weightlifting accident, and then last year dislocated his ankle horribly in the Seattle game. Here are the numbers through the first quarter. You see the total yards, 111 to 33, 43 on the ground, 68 through the air for the Titans. Great balance there, and the number Mike Munchak's going to love.
Time of possession.
There it is, time of possession. Last year, the Titans got away from it, 25-54 per game. That is not Titans football, and that 10-minute number a little bit better. Second down, 19, Locker throws to Damian Williams down to the 21-yard line. Second-year player out of Southern California. Another young man who's going to see his minutes increase this season.
Getting pressure from, the left side defensive end there coming in, shows poise, steps up, makes the play.
And but the offensive line made a beautiful pocket for him, allowing him to step up without getting that pressure up the middle.
In his face, yeah.
And he was able to find his receiver coming to Damian Williams somewhere across the middle. So once again, he's showing great poise as a young rookie right now in his first preseason game.
The 13th play of this drive, and it's a pass by Jake Locker. Steps up, he's going to go, gets to the sideline, and gets out of bounds. Lavelle Hawkins risking life and limb on the edge for it.
Locker making a great decision, getting the field for in the pocket. He's showing that he has the speed to get outside. He runs a 4.5. I mean, he's a fast kid, athletic kid. So if he's going to get into trouble, his legs can get him out of trouble, and he can live to see another day.
It's going to be a 38-yard field goal attempt by Rob Baronis. Brett Kern is on to hold as the Titans look for their first preseason points. Good snap and hold. The kick is up. End over end, and it is no good. A rare miss for Rob Baronis. So the Titans run 13 plays and come up scoreless. And so we are still scoreless at LP Field. Jake Locker looking good so far. You're watching Titans football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Jake Locker goes to the sideline after a 14-play, 51-yard drive. It took 8 minutes and 10 seconds. It ended with a 38-yard missed field goal by Rob Baronis. Donovan McNabb still in at quarterback for the Vikings. The Titans' first-string defense still on the field. 1st and 10. McNabb airing it out one more time to Bernard Berrien with the right side, and the Titans swarming for the tackle, about a 7-yard gain. Going to set up a 2nd and short. We've seen a lot of pass out of Minnesota to start this thing.
Well, they're working on their tempo. I mean, obviously, the quarterback wants to get his timing with the whole new receiving core. They want to get him the ball as much as they can and let him get that timing, game time experience and timing with his receivers.
The good news for the Vikings is if they lose an offensive line, then McNabb can step in. He's going downtown, right at Jason McCourty, who breaks up the pass. Nice play by McCourty. I joke, McNabb is a large quarterback.
It looked like he lost weight.
Where did he lose it?
Kevin was on the field, but you see him here. He really didn't get a good throw off like he wanted to. McCourty does a good job of keeping his eye on the ball. No contact downfield. Makes a big play. Good job by McCourty.
Jason McCourty getting the start this year out of Rutgers, entering his 3rd season. His brother was a first-round pick. First down. Donovan McNabb finds Greg Camarillo, a 6th-year veteran from Stanford. I believe he played with you in Miami for a little while, Kevin?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Talented receiver. They got some good receivers in Minnesota. They look to surround Donovan McNabb with quality veteran receivers, Bernard Berrien, Camarillo. Good receiving core.
And I think Donovan could have a breakout year. You could turn around and hand the ball to Adrian Peterson. You have good quality receivers out there and a good tight end. He could have a solid year this year.
They've also brought in Michael Jenkins, the veteran from Ohio State. Sorry. McNabb flushed out of the pocket, rolling to his right. Rifle shot in there, but Michael Griffin knocks it away. McNabb still showing he can move a little bit.
Yeah, he's still got it, man. He's gotten a bad rap, like we talked about in Philadelphia. Of course, I think last year was an off year for Don, and really never had a chance in Washington, in my opinion. Gets a great fresh start here in Minnesota, surrounded by good. I think he's going to have a breakout year this year because of the weapons. And he doesn't have to do so much.
Can you call it a breakout year?
Yeah, guy's
though?
throwing for 36,000
I mean, he's had so
yards.
much success.
Well, based off of last year.
Right.
Comeback year. How about
Comeback.
yeah.
That's better.
I'll give you the
Comeback
comeback here. 2nd and 10. He gets to hand it off this time to Gerhardt. He bounces off a tackle. Cortland Finnegan, William Hayes, Barrett Ruud, all there. Good swarming, and you have to swarm a ball carrier that big.
Got a nice play by William Hayes up front. He's playing the closed side defensive end where the tackle is. They get good pressure. A hat in every gap. Cortland Finnegan comes up and makes the play.
Not only that,
That's force. That's good stuff.
and Ayers came up and knocked the fullback back in the backfield, and really giving a running back a two-way goal to go.
In a passing situation, Jason Jones has moved the defensive tackle. Derek Morgan's on the field at an end. McNabb flush from the pocket. He's got Jones in his face, looking for someplace to go and not finding it. Belted on the play by the rookie, Carl Klug. The 45-yard line was wide open, guys, but there was nobody there.
No one there to throw it to, so he's got to hold the ball, wait for someone to get open. Dave Ball does a good job. Carl Klug does a good job rushing at that 3 technique along with Jason Jones in the middle, and he keeps going. Good work by the rookie, Carl Klug.
Carl Klug has made a name for himself in this camp. He really has. Out of Iowa. 6'3", 275, maybe a little undersized, but great motor.
Assistant head coach Dave McGinnis compares Carl Klug to that of Steve McMichael. So that's a big-time compliment coming from a very, very seasoned coach in this league. He's coached defense for a long time, and we all know who Steve McMichael is.
Mark Mariani tackled at the 12, where the Titans will take over. Still no score. You're watching Titans preseason football on the Farm Bureau Insurance Network.
Welcome back to LP Field. No score here with the Titans and Vikings in the second quarter. Titans with the ball. Now you will not see offensive lineman David Stewart. Big Country is out. He has injured that left hamstring. He's grabbing it a little bit, but he is able to walk okay here on the sidelines. He's probably done for the night, guys.
All right, thank you, Dawn. Troy Kropog has come in his place at right tackle.
Hamstring, offensive lineman.
Don't usually see that.
No.
Mike Otto's come in at left tackle, and it's a handoff. It's like Harper again. Nice stiff arm, and he's out at the 20-yard line. Are you indicating that offensive linemen don't run?
I'm indicating that he's not fast enough to pull a hamstring. That's what I'm indicating.
Let's look again at the run by Harper.
Good stiff arm. Here's the problem I have with a big back like that.
I know what you're going to say.
He's got to get upfield right there. He can't. Nice stiff arm, and he's got to take on number 25. He can't run out of bounds. Not as a rookie. You got fresh legs. You haven't hit anybody. You got to run and punish him.
The big back loves that kind of contact.
230 pounds. You got to punish him.
Defensive back,
You pick up the first down.
Yep.
2nd and short for Jake Locker, who hands it off again. Not a lot of running room this time. And Eddie, you speak from experience. I mean, as a big back, you know what
he should have picked up the first down. Now they're sitting there here at 3rd and 2. When he ran out of bounds, he should have challenged the defensive back for the first down. He would have picked up 2 or 3 more yards based off of his size. He's number 25, the defensive back for the Minnesota Vikings. Didn't want any parts of it.
No.
So you've got to challenge him, especially if you're a big back. You've got to get upfield.
All right, well, that sets up 3rd down. 6 rushes for 23 yards so far for Harper. This drive started at the 13 for the Titans. So they need the 23. Locker to throw. Belted and dropped for a sack inside the 15. Titan fans, feel the passion. Get the gear. Shop the all-new TitansLockerRoom.com. Gear up for the season with sideline hats, tees, and all of your official Titans sideline gear at TitansLockerRoom.com. That's a loss of 6 yards. as the rush came right from the inside from Christian Ballard, who introduced Jake Locker to the National Football League.
That's part of preseason. Hey, take the hit,
Welcome.
get used to it, you know?
Good morning, Jake Locker. Welcome to the NFL.
Kern on to punt. Lorenzo Booker back to return, standing on his own 40. Kern from his own 5, a high spiral. Long and out of bounds. Great kick, no return. So the Vikings will take over inside their own territory. No score. You're watching Titans preseason football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network. 7:30 left in the first half. No score between the Titans and Vikings as Jerry Gray's defense has gotten it done early, Kevin.
You know, I spoke with defensive line coach Tracy Rocker, and he said, you know what? We will pass rush. We will get our chances to rush the passer. But you know what? The first thing we have to do is we have to be sound in our gaps. We have to know what we're doing, and we've got to plug up holes so that we can get them in 3rd and long to get to the quarterback.
First down. Minnesota with the football. Lorenzo Booker dropped for a short gain. Joe Webb has come in at quarterback for Minnesota. Webb, kind of an interesting player, 6'4", 220, second year out of UAB. Last year, they were attempting to convert him to wide receiver and had some injury issues at quarterback when he had to come back and play quarterback. And you see the numbers, 54 for 89, 477, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but also pretty athletic, 18 rushes, 120 yards, did score 2 touchdowns on the ground. So Webb is running the show on 2nd down and 8 from the 31. Steps up in the pocket, dumps off for Booker, who makes Ayers miss, and Booker has a first down.
Pressure again by Carl Klug.
Yeah, I watched Carl Klug last year play for the Hawkeyes a couple of times. That great defensive line. He's a solid player, big guy on the inside, and he has a motor as well, and he breaks a double team and applying pressure. So this kid continues to play and perform the way he has in the preseason. It will definitely translate over into the regular season and have solid play out of it.
A gain of 14, 1st and 10 at the 46. Webb hands to Booker. He's going right up the middle. He's got a solid 4 yards. Looks like Colin McCarthy, the rookie from Miami, makes the tackle. I know he's a young man you know a thing or two about, Kevin.
Yes, Colin McCarthy is a very talented young linebacker out of Miami. My son, Zion, actually plays baseball with his next-door neighbor's kid. So,
small world.
Yeah, small world, but good young linebacker there. And, again, going to learn a lot of great things from some veteran linebackers like Will Witherspoon and Barrett Ruud. 2nd
down. We've got some new DBs in the game for the Titans. Elteron Verner's come in. Jordan Babineau and Vincent Fuller are your safeties. 2nd and 6. Another handoff to Booker, who's corralled in the backfield. Nice play by Carl Klug, and the ball's on the field, and the Titans have got it. Waiting for an official call here. We got one referee on the 50 and the other one on the 38 who just indicated it's the Titans football.
Picked up by big Jarrell Casey.
Another
bumbling,
rookie.
stumbling. Hey, another rookie there. Good young player. One of the guys that they look to add size and strength to this Titans defensive line.
Yeah, Casey stripped it out with one hand and then went running. He stole his lunch.
The quarterback didn't really want to tackle him.
Well, I can understand it. I'm not picking on Jarrell Casey. I just want to, when I see him, he reminds me of Corey Simon.
Yeah, he does. Big body, big lower half.
He's what they want at defensive tackle now. They wanted to get bigger. He is bigger.
But they haven't sacrificed skill. I mean, you see, even though as a rookie he has a presence of mind to strip the ball out on a running back just struggling to stay up and get more yardage.
Mm-hmm.
And we see 2
The
plays
whistle
by...
was blown at the recovery prior to the runner getting up. It'll be Tennessee's ball. It'll be 7 yards back. First down.
And guys, also, you talk about making plays. There's a defensive lineman not just making a tackle, not content with the tackle, stripping the ball away. That's a game changer.
Ball skills, man. Ball
Picking
skills.
it up, but it's 2 rookies. And Mike Munchak mentioned that he really likes this rookie class, not just Jake Locker, but the depth and quality at each position, defensive line, safety, cornerbacks, running back. He really likes this rookie class coming in this year.
So the Titans take over on the Vikings 45-yard line. 1st and 10 Locker, a little confusion in the backfield. He's going downtown, and he's got his first Titans touchdown. Yamon Figures. 45 yards. Jake Locker on a rope to the former Kansas State Wildcat.
I guess he dropped the ball, part of the plan. The way he drew it up, he sees it, spots his receiver downfield, wide open, makes a throw for his first NFL touchdown. Congratulations, Jake Locker.
A little confusion there on part of Chris Cook, the defensive back. Not quite sure. Kind of got caught peeking there in the backfield.
Saw the ball drop.
Yeah, he saw the ball drop. He's looking at the quarterback
Stadium man,
instead of getting on his man there.
Another case, though, of Jake Locker keeping his composure.
Keeping his composure, not panicking at all.
Rob Baronis on for the PAT. This one's up, and this one is good. So the Jake Locker era begins with a 45-yard touchdown strike. Chris Palmer's all smiles as the Titans take a 7-0 lead with 4:55 to play in the first half. This is Titans football on the Farm Bureau Insurance Tennessee Network. Titans sideline with Jake Locker after the first touchdown pass of his professional career. 45 yards to Yamon Figures. An 8-second drive, guys, and it would have only been 6 had he not dropped the football to start the play. And for Figures, a guy trying to make an NFL roster, a nice way to get his Tennessee Titan career started as well. So Rob Baronis on to kick off. Lorenzo Booker standing about 3 yards deep in his own end zone. He takes it about 5 yards back, and he's coming out. Crossed the 15 and dropped shy of the 25. We have not mentioned that they have moved up the kickoff about 5 yards, which will change the way the game is played a little bit. We've got a flag on the play, so we're not going to quite go to break yet. The Titans were offsides on the kick, which
Penalty
means
will
we're
be
going to have...
enforced from the end of the run. First down.
So the kick will
Timeout.
stand as is, and they move it 5 yards forward, so the Vikings will start just shy of the 30. Now let's take another look at that touchdown strike. Jake Locker to Yamon Figures. 7-0 Titans, 4:50 to play. Titans football on the farm. Titans are up 7-0. Let's go down to Dawn on the sideline and get into the 21st century.
That's right. It's all about social media nowadays, guys, and we are using Twitter during this broadcast. We want to get you involved, the fan. Go to my Twitter account, @DawnDavenportTN. Send me questions. I want to know what question you want answered about this Titans team this year, because there's a lot of new faces and a lot of questions. Send them in.
Thank you, Dawn. Joe Webb is in at quarterback. We will address those questions later in the broadcast. Webb scrambling, keeps his head upfield. Chased down by Gerald McCrath at the 35-yard line. A gain of 8 for Joe Webb.
Got to make the quarterback pay when he runs out of the pocket like that, Eddie.
Oh, yeah, I see him salivating.
I'm like, man, somebody hit the guy.
You know, it's interesting, though, because the Titans, like they had with Vince and Kerry, have dynamically different quarterbacks in Jake and Matt. And the Vikings don't have that. Joe Webb and Donovan are kind of similar.
Very similar. Yeah, they're pretty comparable, I guess, as quarterbacks.
Of course, they've also got a first-round pick at quarterback in Christian Ponder out of Florida State, who they picked with the 12th pick. It's another handoff. Lorenzo Booker surging forward. He had a nice gap over the right side for a first down.
Lorenzo Booker out of Florida State. Quick scat back type. He can be a good change of pace for Adrian Peterson. I mean, this kid is fantastic. You give him a seam, he can go all the way. I mean, just good burst, good vision. And he's showing a little bit of that tonight. But for the Titans up front, they're showing a little bit of holes. They might be getting tired. Fatigue is setting in. But it's still showing that the defensive philosophy is starting to pay dividends for them.
Still see Casey and Klug at the tackles. 1st and 10. The Titans bringing some extras on the rush. And it's picked off on the play by Jordan Babineau. Babineau taken down inside the 40 and down to the 36-yard line. Just signed a week ago. The former Seattle Seahawk comes up with the INT, a return of 19 yards.
You know, speaking with Jerry Gray yesterday, he said Jordan Babineau is going to give us the kind of quality depth at safety that we've been looking for.
Not only that, he's been in the league he's an experienced veteran. read his eyes well, and Jerry Gray has to be satisfied. 2 defensive turnovers tonight.
He's looking to start as well, guys. 7-0 Titans on the Titans Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network. 7-0 Titans after back-to-back turnovers. They're back in business with Jordan Babineau coming up with the first interception of the preseason. More Jerry Gray magic.
Yeah, Jerry Gray, again, you know, Jordan Babineau sees it, but tonight we've seen time after time the Titans in the right place at the right time on defense.
Jake Locker rolling to his right, firing a strike to big Craig Stevens for another first down. Jake Locker, there have been a lot of comments about his accuracy. On the run, he is money.
You know what? I was one of those guys. I'm one of the critics. You know what? I don't think he's very accurate, but here he's showing out of the pocket, running, throwing the ball to his tight end for a big first down. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with Jake Locker, his athleticism, his poise, his ability to make plays out of nothing. It's a good job right now so far by the rookie.
1st and 10 from the 23. Jamie Harper cutting back to the 20. That time he takes on a tackler, and he's down at the 20. Eddie, is that more like it?
That's more like it. That's what I like to see. Puts his head down, runs him over. But in this league, he's going to still have to learn to get upfield. The most yards you're going to get in this league is you're going to have to turn upfield. Good job of running him over, but again, he bellies back. He's got to challenge the defenders and turn his shoulders north and south to get more positive yards.
Turning into a rough night for Chris Cook. He gave up the long touchdown. Now he got dump trucked.
When it rains, it pours. Hey.
Don't say that. There's a chance of rain tonight. 2:05 left in the first half. Corey Curtis, Eddie George, and Kevin Carter. Have we said it's great to have you yet?
It's good to be here. It's
right.
great to be here.
Well, it's the 2-minute warning with the Titans on top. We'll be back with the final 2 minutes in moments on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network. Boy, a gorgeous night in the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. With the Titans on top of the Vikings 7-0 at the 2-minute warning. Find out how you can qualify for your own customized Titans jersey with your name and favorite number on it, 9327. When you open a Titans checking account exclusively at Pinnacle, apply online at titansbanking.com or stop by any Pinnacle location. Pinnacle, distinctive service, effective advice.
Full moon tonight, Corey.
Means anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Jake Locker, talk about anything can happen. 7 for 8, 89 yards and a touchdown. We saw the Vince and Steve numbers. Those are a little better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean anything, right? That's what we said before.
It doesn't mean anything because it's still the preseason. He hasn't seen an exotic blitz yet.
It's still better than seeing 1 for 8.
Yeah.
Locker on 2nd down from the 20. Throwing a fade to Lavelle Hawkins, and it's just over his shoulder. Incomplete. Looked like Lavelle may have been a little late to the party in finding the football.
Yeah, it looked like it was a well-thrown ball, put in a good spot. Lavelle, it's hard to say. It might have gone over his head a little bit, but I think
that's a timing issue.
It's a timing issue, but that can be solved. And again, we're talking about a rookie who didn't have much time in
no
OTAs.
Exactly.
Which is huge for a rookie, and he's only had about 2 weeks in camp. So this is first live action. We're going to see those situations. Let's check into a play here.
3rd and 7 for Locker. 3 receivers. They're bringing a blitz. He's throwing the same thing, looking for Mariani, and he's going to get a pass interference penalty.
Anytime there's contact after 5 yards on a touch pass like that, if the receiver clearly can't get to the ball because he's being held up after 5 yards, they're going to throw it.
I don't think that was a catchable ball, though.
Interference, defense, number 35. Ball will be placed in the spot of the foul.
It wasn't catchable, but was it not catchable because he had no chance to get there? I don't know.
Yeah.
Clearly hit him.
Pretty good job of selling it there by Mariani. You know.
But there was definitely contact.
Definitely
it looked like he was batting his arm down.
It is a quarterback's league, guys.
After 5 yards, it just
and
can't do it.
receivers, yeah.
Offensive league.
Ahmad Hall in at fullback for the Titans on 1st and goal. A handoff to Jamie Harper. Over the right side, and Harper barrels his way in for a Titans touchdown. A 4th-round pick out of Clemson gets his first 6 as the Titans take a 13-0 lead.
And again, the offensive line coached by Bruce Matthews does a good job of creating surges. He finds a tight hole between.
Look at Lavelle Hawkins at the
Lavelle
pylon.
Hawkins does a good job of kicking him out, and he squeezes him for a touchdown.
Lavelle Hawkins has a diving catch and a critical block.
Critical block. But the rookies tonight, they've been phenomenal.
Well, they've been great in camp, so
Harper,
it makes sense.
Locker,
you practice like you play.
Well, Munchak said they're going to give the rookies a chance to play. He basically didn't bring them in to, sit back and learn and wait and develop over a couple of years. He brought these guys in to play now.
The PAT is good, and it's 14-0, but Jake Locker looks good. Carl Krug looks good. Jarrell Casey makes a great play. Akeem Ayers, we've seen do a few things, and now Jamie Harper. You harped on him early, but that time did exactly what he needed to do. They love this entire rookie class, and I know they were all anxious to see how it parlayed under the lights, because we all know it doesn't always work that way.
Things change when the lights come on.
Well, I guess the music that they've been playing at practice, during practice, kind of, nullified all of that excitement. I guess he said, okay, this is game time atmosphere at practice, and came into the game tonight, so it really wasn't a culture shock for these guys coming in.
Coming up at halftime, we'll get our first words from Mike Munchak. Don Davenport catches up with him as he comes off the field. Don also has a profile on Stephon Johnson and his amazing comeback from 2 terrible injuries now. Well, of course, we'll also have highlights and stats, and maybe we'll have a tweet or two.
But you know what? Back to the tempo and pace of the Tennessee Titans team and the poise by these rookies. I think teams often take on the identity of their head coach. Mike Munchak is a guy that is calm, cool, collective, and he's poised. And he's all about fundamentals and technique, and I think that's what we're seeing here tonight.
Yeah, and the coaching staff that he's developed. Chris Palmer at the offensive coordinator position, Jerry Gray with bigger acquisitions than anything else, I think, for this Tennessee Titans team moving forward in philosophy.
Lorenzo Booker fumbles the kick back into the end zone, and so the Vikings will take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Joe Webb is still the quarterback. And guys, I brought up earlier how they've moved the kickoff up 5 yards, and that's a safety issue. It's to de-emphasize kick returns because more players are hurt in special teams than in just about any avenue of the game. And while it may take some of the excitement out of the game, they're hoping it keeps more players on the field. Webb out of the gun on 1st and 10, slides it in there. Nice catch and grab. Colin McCarthy with the tackle. Making the grab is Jamar Johnson.
Minnesota go with a little bit of tempo here, trying to run the hurry-up 2-minute offense.
Webb with 4 receivers. Another dump over the middle. This one's to Booker. Babineau misses, but good pursuit from behind by Derek Morgan, last year's 1st-round pick. And the Vikings are going to burn a timeout. That's the first one they've taken. They've got 2 left with 1:21 to play in the first half. Interesting talking to Mike Munchak last night as we look at the Vikings and how they approach this drive. He's very interested in how he handles the clock,
right,
in particular in this situation as you close out the first half.
Yeah, he mentioned last night he's more concerned about the defense and how they close up the first half. He says that if the offense has the ball, he doesn't want them to score fast, he wants them to bleed the clock because coming out of the halftime, he doesn't want his defense tired. And really, the first series of the first half, the second half, sets the tempo for the entire game.
Yeah, he really wants to keep his defense off the field to end the half if possible. Anthony Smith has checked in at a safety. Webb is going downtown, and Frank Walker is there, but he can't break up the play. Or can he? No, it's incomplete. It looked like Webb had a long one, but Walker strips it away. Going for Devin Aromashadu, the former Chicago Bear and I believe an Auburn Tiger. Walker, another one of the veterans that Mike Reinfeldt and company have brought in. Their type of guy. I think that's the best way to say it.
Physical, good technique, good presence of mind, strip the ball out there. I mean, you got to do a better job of catching the ball at its highest point. And I think the receiver went and got it, but good heads-up play there.
3rd and 2 for Webb. Pressure's on. Webb falls down, and he's sacked on the play. Derek Morgan, last year's 1st-round pick out of Georgia Tech. Was off to a great start last year, suffered that knee injury. It's great to see him back just to start this preseason.
And stats will tell you that nothing kills a 2-minute drive quicker than a sack.
And not only that, Morgan did a nice job of spin move to the inside, showing that athleticism and burst that he showed earlier last year prior to the knee injury. So if he gets healthy, this defensive line can be very special for Tennessee. They're big, fast, and athletic and young. They could be pretty good, Kevin.
I think so. I think so as well.
The Vikings are now 3 of 6 on third down. The punt by Kluwe, aimed out of bounds. And the Titans are going to take over. He's still walking. And he stops at the 28-yard line with 23 seconds to go. I'm not going to say Mike Munchak is. We're not going to call him a conservative coach because he hasn't had a chance to establish himself yet. But with 23 seconds left,
Take a knee.
they're going to take it.
Take a knee.
This one's not hard to figure out. The Titans do have 2 timeouts left, and they are on the 28-yard line, leading 14-0. Of course, stick around for halftime after a 35-yard punt. The Titans will go into the knee formation. Like I said, stick around because in moments Don's going to catch up with Coach Munch and get his impressions. You have to like what you've seen from the Mike Munchak era so far. And we'll also have that story on Stephon Johnson. The crowd is on their feet, and guys, why not? 14-0.
They look good so far. They look good so far. I mean, they're showing poise. The young players are really stepping up and doing exactly what they're trying to do, or what they wanted them to do. They're not trying to do too much, and they're fitting into this scheme on offense and defense.
All right, Mike Munchak is now on the sideline with Dawn Davenport.
Yeah, guys, and with head coach Mike Munchak. Coach, you said last night you wanted to establish tempo. You wanted your team to establish an identity. You're up 14-0 going into the half. Did you do that?
Yeah, we're happy about that. We should have finished a few drives there with the offense, had a couple free plays, but defense done a great job, got the ball back twice. We scored points on both those opportunities, so that was real positive to see. And like you said, we'll take 14 points. We could have more, but so far so good.
Yeah, that's right. And you look at your quarterback play with Hasselbeck. Didn't get to see a lot of him, but then with Locker, they look good. Are you happy?
Yeah, he makes plays. He almost fumbled a snap and he throws a touchdown pass. So that just shows you the kind of things he can do. And he's moves the pocket nice, and we'll see how it goes in the second half.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Thanks. All right, Titans up 14-0 right now at the break. We'll talk a little bit more about a running back who has overcome adversity coming up after the break. Make sure you stick around. We'll see you then.
That very, very few teams have that win-loss percentage success when it comes to turning the ball over. You turn the ball over, you're not going to win.
Cord Parks takes it out of the end zone. Belted at the 20, and the Vikings will take over. Nice special teams play by one of the Titans' special teams stars from last year, Tim Shaw. They brought in Tim Shaw and Patrick Bailey last year to make plays in kick coverage, and both of them did. They were great additions, and they're back again this year. So the Vikings are on offense. Joe Webb comes back out. We're going to have to wait a little while longer to see Christian Ponder for the first time.
Anxious to see Christian Ponder.
Yeah, you know, when they moved up to 12, they raised a lot of eyebrows with that pick. Lorenzo Booker still in the backfield. Webb on play action. Frank Walker misses the tackle, and Webb goes out of bounds. Not to say that Ponder's not a talented guy, but he suffered a lot of injuries at Florida State, and I think a lot of people thought they could have probably gotten him a little further back. Yeah, but if he's your guy, like the Titans with Locker at 8, he's your guy.
They have faith in him. I talked to quarterback, the offensive coordinator, Craig Johnson. He says that, hey, he's a very, very talented guy. He's smart. He's resourceful. He makes good decisions, so we'll see what he can do.
2nd down and 6 for Joe Webb. Still a lot of rookies on that defensive line for the Titans. Handoff. Doesn't go anywhere. Booker taken down. Gerald McGrath is there. Gerald McGrath is in a battle with Will Witherspoon for a linebacker spot right now. Rude is going to start in the middle, and Ayers is going to start on one of the outside spots. That is pretty much carved in stone. Now, Witherspoon is starting now. McGrath has to make a push. But that's difficult because Will Witherspoon has been a good player in this league for a long, long time.
He's been solid. He's been smart. And McGrath, he has to be a little bit more consistent with the plans on taking over the position, starting for the Titans at the linebacker position.
The Vikings are 3 for 6 on 3rd down, make it 4 for 7. I believe that's Devin Aromashadu with the first down, a gain of 9. Colin McCarthy with the tackle. Aromashadu in his 4th season out of Auburn, 6'2", 205. You see Pete Ittersagen from Wheaton College, Wheaton, Illinois. Somebody from here is from Wheaton, Illinois.
It wouldn't be me.
Not you. And it's not you.
It's definitely not me.
It would be me. Pete Ittersagen.
We're not able to look at your
College,
stats, and
I have no stats. Play action for Webb, rolling to his left. Jacob Ford closing. He goes down with Frank Walker in his face. Now, Pete played at my high school, Wheaton North.
Did you play at your high school?
I was on the team.
You were. Now, what were you listed at then? Were you about 5'9"?
No, I was 6 foot as I am today.
6 foot.
Now, I know when people see
You're
us
6
on
foot.
camera, I look like I'm like 5'4".
I'll give you 5'10" and a half.
Okay, everybody at home, you see Mike Munchak. He's 6'5". Kevin Carter is 6'5". Eddie George is 6'4". I look tiny. Second down, 5 to go as we get back on topic. Vikings and Titans at LP Field, and Webb needs a timeout. We'll head to break with the Titans up 14-0, 12-17 to play in the third quarter. You're watching Titans preseason football on the Farm Bureau Insurance. LP Field, 12-17 to play in the third quarter, and the Titans and Vikings preseason opener. Jerry Gray's defense pitching a shutout as the Titans lead 14-0. Tommy Campbell has checked into the game for the Titans at a cornerback. 6'2", 205-pound rookie, 7th round pick. He's lined up at the top of your screen. 2nd and 5 for Joe Webb. Back to throw. Rolls out of the pocket. He's to the sticks and gets beyond for a first down. Gain of 6, and the Vikings are in Titans territory, or close to it.
Yeah, you mentioned Tommy Campbell. I talked to Marcus Robertson the other day. He says this kid has a chance to be something special. 7th round pick, 6'2", 200 some odd pounds. Runs a 4.3 in the 40. Comes from California, PA. He could be a gem in this class. You always have those guys in the later rounds that are
is
freaks.
A long story.
Yeah, he's
there's
amazing.
a lot behind Tommy Campbell.
Yes.
1st and 10 for Joe Webb. Titans showing blitz, and they're coming. And it's a handoff to the play. Missed tackle in the backfield, and Lorenzo Booker is on the run and belted down at the 36-yard line. Nice tackle on the play by Anthony Smith, but a long gain of 20 yards for Lorenzo Booker. This is the first time the Vikings have ventured into Titans territory tonight.
And the backside safety misses the block, the tackle, and in that situation, you have got to make that tackle unless you want to have a long gain like that if you're the unblocked safety coming down there.
You've got to make that play.
Yeah.
On a blitz, you got to get a hat in every gap, and you got to squeeze down and make that play. That's why I broke.
1st and 10 from the 35 for Joe Webb. Back to throw. Steps up in the pocket, chased from behind. Webb's got all sorts of room, and he's got another first down.
It seems like Webb is just having his way, stepping up in the pocket and finding the holes. This defensive line has to do a better job in the rush lanes to keep him corralled in there.
Eric Morgan had a chance.
Yeah, you see there, just like you talked about, Kevin, they maintained gap integrity. Looked like they ran a game, and Webb was able to find that hole and run for the first down.
Morgan was in position, but you know what? You can't leave your feet. As a defensive lineman, quarterback's in your face, stay down, make the tackle.
Gain of 13 yards for Joe Webb. Handing to Booker. Surging over the right side for a gain of 3.
And this is the first time the Minnesota Viking offense has been in Titan territory all night. So we have a chance here to see how aggressive Jerry Gray is going to be in his play calling, if he's going to call blitz now that his defense is beginning to bend a little bit.
Gerald McGrath, Colin McCarthy, Jerry Gray. He was the defensive backs coach for the Titans.
I was here.
Yeah, when you went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then we, of course, went with Greg Williams to the Buffalo Bills, where he was a defensive coordinator there for 5 years, had some great defenses. ranked upward in the top 5 of the league. 9th play of the drive is second down, and Joe Webb looking to throw. Pressure on the outside, dumps it and dropped by Booker. The Titans all had invitations to meet at the quarterback on that play, and Webb was fortunate just to get rid of it.
A better job of corralling Webb in the pocket this time.
Yeah, and again, he's bringing another safety off the edge, or he brought Kareem Ayers off the edge. In this situation, Kevin, it seems like Jerry Gray's going to be a little bit more aggressive. You'll see some more zone blitzes than you would see out in the middle of the field between like the 20 and the other 20. But when you get inside that red zone, he's being a little bit more aggressive.
Hakeem Ayers comes off. Ittersagen comes in as the Titans go nickel, but they're showing the blitz. Webb has time, throwing for the end zone. He's at the goal line, incomplete.
And like you said, Eddie, Ayers is one of those guys that Jerry Gray wants to get involved in the pass rush. He's good at that stand position, walking up on the line of scrimmage, and he's really formidable. I mean, he's usually going against either a running back or a tight end. I mean, he does a great job getting around the corner, getting pressure that previous play.
Yeah. Boy, he had a Roma Shadu, and Jerry Gray said it wasn't good, and it's going to force the Vikings to kick a 37-yard field goal. Ryan Longwell, 17 of 18 last season, certainly within his range. This one's up, and it's just inside the upright, and it is good. 9:32 to play in the third quarter. The Titans still on top. It's 14-3. You're watching preseason football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network. Jerry Gray working with his defense on the sideline after they come up with a mild victory, holding the Vikings to 3 points. His Titans still on top, 14-3, 9:32 to play in the third quarter. The Vikings getting set to kick off after an 11-play, 59-yard drive that took up 5 minutes and 28 seconds, capped by a Ryan Longwell 37-yard field goal. Longwell's on to kick off again. Back to return, though, for the Titans, Damian Williams, the second-year man from the University of Southern California. Longwell's kick drives Williams about a yard or two deep, and he's coming out. Belted at the 10. And the Titans will start deep inside their own territory. When we return, Jake Locker's back on the field with his Titans up 14-3. Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network.
Welcome back to LP Field in Nashville, Tennessee. The Titans leading the Vikings 14-3 right now in the third quarter. Now, I asked you earlier to send me some of your questions that you had on this team this season to Twitter. The question, of course, was, what does this team need to work on there? And a lot of you want to know about the quarterback position. Trey Hickman writes in, is there any thought that Jake Locker could start at some point during year one of his NFL career, guys?
All right, thank you, Dawn. Jake is still in the game, handing to Stephon Johnson. At least, Dawn, what are your thoughts? Also, I think we got more tweets.
I think that they brought in Hasselbeck to teach Locker to start to be the leader and be the mentor. So I don't think that Mike Munchak would put Jake Locker out there to start the season. But someone asked me if they had a good relationship, and they do. The quarterbacks actually carpool to practice together. So Hasselbeck is teaching Locker.
Jake 7 of 9, 89 yards. Matt 5 for 6 for 55. Second down, 6 to go. Handoff up the middle. Short gain. Now, the question is, what if Matt Hasselbeck had not been signed?
I think based off of what I see, and talking to Mike Munchak, he feels comfortable going into opening day with a Locker at the quarterback position.
They may not have had a choice had they not been able to secure Matt.
But I think that, Chris Palmer, having had 2 first-round quarterbacks, Tim Couch and David Carr.
That was as a head coach.
As a head coach.
Coach. He's also worked with Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah.
And Eli Manning.
A few notable quarterbacks there.
Locker incomplete. Looking for Mark Mariana. Yeah, the Bledsoe situation is actually a better comparison for Jake because the other 2 guys came into expansion franchises, and Bledsoe came in with an established NFL team.
Everything is not on Jake. He has an outstanding offensive line, a superstar at the running back position. He has an athletic tight end. He has a go-to wide receiver that can stretch the field in Kenny Britt. So he has guys around him where all the pressure is not on him. He can manage the football game.
Right. And that's what Mike Munchak wants him to do.
Right.
He wants to basically turn the tides as far as the time of possession. They want to go back to Titans football, controlling the clock, grinding it out on the ground, and utilizing that awesome running attack that they have.
Brett Kern's third punt of the night. Fielded on one. Good coverage by the Titans. 45-yard punt. Rennie Curran comes up with the tackle. We're going to have more on Jake Locker when we return. You're watching Titans preseason football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network. Jake Locker has the Titans up. We asked him, what's better, sitting and watching or playing?
Nobody gets to this point without being competitive. And so everybody wants to play, everybody wants to be on the field, and that's how I'm going to approach every practice. Like I'm going to have the ability to play and have an impact on the game. And I would expect everybody else on this football team to do the same. And so I think that as long as you're preparing that way, and when you get your opportunity, you take advantage of it, you won't regret what you've done.
That's one first-round pick at quarterback. Here's another. Christian Ponder out of Florida State taking his first professional snap, and it's a complete pass over the right side, hitting his tight end for what turns into about a 10-yard gain. Kyle Rudolph, the rookie out of Notre Dame.
You know, Eddie, earlier you and I were talking about Christian Ponder and his height. I mean, he went so early and so high in the draft this year, but he's not very tall.
Right. He's probably 6'1" at best, but you see he's going outside of the pocket to make his throws because, in this league, you got 6'6", 6'5", 6'7", an interior lineman, especially outside. It's going to be tough for him to see those throwing lanes.
1st and 10, Ponder throwing again. This one's incomplete. Looking for Jamar Johnson. Frank Walker, been a busy man tonight.
Yes, he has. And again, Ponder goes in a 3-step drop, and, he was forced to throw the football on the slant, and the ball goes in the dirt because he probably didn't have a good, clear vision in the passing lane because of the arms and everything else because of the height. But we'll see how he does in the next this next play.
Walker's in his 9th season out of Tuskegee. Another established veteran out there who's off to a pretty good start for the Titans in this one. 2nd and 10, Lorenzo Booker. He's had a big night tonight. Another handoff, this one across the 50, just inside Titans territory for a 5-yard gain. Gerald McGrath on the tackle. Pete Ittersagen has come into the game on 3rd down for the Titans. Patrick Bailey, the linebacker, comes off as the Titans go nickel.
Nice move by Booker at the line of scrimmage to sidestep Colin McCarthy there.
Well, he's got to make it happen now because just like with the Titans, when it comes to the regular season, 28 is going to be taking all the carries. 3rd and 5 for Ponder, who operates out of the shotgun. Pump fakes. Escapes the pocket, and he comes up short. Frank Walker and Pete Ittersagen are there on the play, dropping for a 1-yard loss.
And again, Ponder having trouble seeing downfield, getting pressure, eludes defenders, and you'll see here the Titans doing a great job once again getting pressure upfield. Really couldn't see. You see how Klug got his arms up, forced him outside the pocket, and now the troops come in and converge on him for no gain and set up for a 4th down. So good, disciplined football, technique-wise, by the Tennessee Titan defense.
And the Vikings will punt the football back deep to return. I believe is Lavelle Hawkins. No, it's Yamon Figures. He'll call a fair catch at the 7-yard line, where the Titans will take over with their worst field position of the evening when we return. 14-3, 5:40 to play in the 3rd. You're watching Titans preseason football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network. Always plenty to do downtown Nashville, Tennessee, as the Titans lead the Vikings 14-3 in the 3rd quarter of their preseason opener. Titan fans, it's time to get back to football. Don't forget, a limited number of Titans single-game tickets are now on sale. Get your tickets and be there this season as a new era in Titans football begins at LP Field. Stop by the LP Field ticket office, call the toll-free number, go by any Ticketmaster retailer, or log on to Ticketmaster.com for Titan single-game tickets. Rusty Smith has come into the game at quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, the second-year man from Florida Atlantic. You see the numbers from last season, 20 for 40, 200 yards, 4 interceptions. Had one start last year, a rough afternoon in Houston Texans.
Thrown into the fire.
Didn't get a lot of help that day. Second down. Stephon Johnson's the man in the backfield, but Smith's going play action and looking deep for Damian Williams. Great catch. Up at the 39-yard line, Williams takes a shot, but hangs on to the football. Nice hit by Ryan Hill, but a better catch by Damian Williams.
And great concentration, because I tell you what, when you're a receiver and you uncover, Damian Williams, he feels like he's fading away from the safety, just buying enough time. He knows he's going to get hit. So great concentration by Damian Williams to keep his eye on the ball and finish through the catch.
A gain of 28 yards sets up 1st and 10. And the Titans now in good field position at the 39. Johnson up the middle. Line pushes forward for a 2 or a 3-yard gain. Titan drives tonight have been 9 plays, 14, 3, 1, 3, and 3. They could use a long one.
Yeah, they sure could. And Stephon Johnson, I'm very impressed with him tonight. You know, he's not wearing the brace on the ankle or the knee. Again, he had a horrible dislocation of the ankle. Missed all of last year. Saw him in practice the other day, not showing a gimp or anything. Great offseason of rehabilitation. And he's playing with a lot of confidence tonight.
There's a lot of people who could learn a thing or two about life and attitude from Stephon Johnson. Rusty Smith is going downtown for Damian Williams. In and out of his hands at the 15-yard line. Williams made a great adjustment to the football, but just couldn't haul it in.
Yes, he did. The safety, strong safety, Ryan Hill, he's having a tough one because technically that should have been a pick, but yeah. I guess the lights must be a little low or something.
You're saying he didn't find the football?
He did not. No, he was way over.
I think he was more concerned.
Cumberland River.
I think he was more concerned with trying to get back to the ball. I think he, maybe he was out of position a little bit there.
A little bit.
He's trying to get back to the receiver.
We've got a man down for the Vikings, and I'm not a doctor, but this one has cramp written all over it.
Of course, it's 92 degrees today.
And it's the preseason opener.
And the Vikings defense, you have to give it to them. I mean, they've been sustaining some long drives.
And that's Larry Dean, who's down, by the way.
Titans offense is doing a good job of controlling the football and makes it hard on the defense.
You know what else is impressive, Kevin? You know when we played that first preseason game, we've seen a lot of mistakes, offsides, holding penalties, fumbles, snaps, everything under the sun. And, having not going through OTAs, getting together for the first time, 2 new quarterbacks, there hasn't been a lot of that tonight. So that's very impressive. I credit, when he preaches the discipline and technique, we're really starting to see that so early in the preseason here tonight.
Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Pleasantly surprised by that.
3rd down for Rusty Smith and the Titans. 7 to go. The Vikings bringing some extra ones. Rusty gets it out of there, and it's knocked down incomplete. He was looking for Mark Mariani.
Should have been a penalty. There was some contact at the end of that. You'll see at the end of the play, Mariani's running a curl route, pushing him upfield, and he's coming back to the ball. It was a little bit of contact on the back end. Held his jersey, missed by the official, but ticky-tack call, but Mariani missed opportunity there.
Eddie, you were saying earlier about the lack of penalties, by this Titan team. That's pleasantly surprising to me, because I thought with the OTAs, mini camps, man, you're going to have tons of mistakes.
Marcus Sherrell's back to receive the punt by Brett Kern. He fields it at his own 7-yard line, makes a couple of guys miss. Good move by Sherrell's to get across the 15. Colin McCarthy mixing it up at the end of the play.
And the special team coverage has been consistent tonight. Very good coverage. You talk about that missed time of OTAs, and I was expecting bigger returns tonight from both teams, because special teams is such a key component to a team, and it takes everybody to be on the same page of maintaining their lanes and coming down in coverage. But I thought it would be more bigger returns tonight, but both teams have been covering the ball very well, kickoff coverage and punt.
Well, usually, it takes a good return or two in the preseason to kind of wake them up and let them know that they should be in their lanes, keep their spacing down the field.
That was a 56-yard punt by Brett Kern. Lorenzo Booker, having himself a long night, gets another carry out of the backfield.
I like him. I mean, he's a small back, but he's tough in between the tackles. Last year he played at Florida State. He was a key component for their offense. Very explosive kid, but he's a tough guy in between the tackles. Not very big, but he plays big, like a big back, and that's what I like about him. He's not afraid to get in there, get the tough yards, and it's going to set up longer runs for him later in the season, in the preseason, everything else.
2nd down, 6 to go for Christian Ponder and the Minnesota Vikings. Ponder looking to throw. Dumps over the middle to Lorenzo Booker. He makes Rennie Curran miss, and he's got a 1st down.
Lorenzo Booker, I mean, he's taking, Christian Ponder is taking what the Tennessee Titan defense is giving him. They're dropping back his zone, taking everything downfield away. As running backs are taught to sit in that hole, make somebody miss. You see Booker did it there, picking up the 1st down.
Well, we're going to keep with the action here, but we're going to go down to the sideline where Dawn Davenport has a very special guest.
Yeah, hey guys, joining me now is Titans quarterback Matt Hasselbeck. Does that sound a little weird?
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it, but it's been great. My time here has been great. The teammates are awesome. Coaches are great. So, it's new, but I'm learning, and I'm looking forward to what this year has to bring.
You didn't get a whole lot of reps in this game, and you knew you wouldn't, but how did you feel when you were out there?
I thought it went well. We had the fumble on the exchange, but other than that, I thought it was great. It was fun to be in there with the offensive line and, with the receivers, also working with the coach to quarterback headset communication when they're calling in the plan. I've never worn one of these wristbands before, so that's new. But all of it went fine, and I think I just had 10 plays or something like that, so it was quick.
There's been a lot of talk about you spent 10 years in Seattle, and it's hard to learn a new verbiage. Just kind of talk about the difficulty of having to do that.
It's not that bad. Everyone wants to talk about it, and I probably played it up a little too much, but it is different. What was once, a color is now a number is a color. You just got to kind of deprogram and unlearn what you used to know.
And I'm sure it will just take time, obviously. Look at a guy like Jake Locker on Twitter. I've gotten questions from fans that want to know things, and a lot of people want to know. They said it looks like the quarterback class this year is close. You guys buddies?
Yeah, we're having a great time hanging out. It's just a great room, and I think that's really important for any position group, but especially the quarterback group. And, we compete each day with each other to push each other to make each other better, but it's a good group of guys.
And your thoughts on Locker? You're here, obviously, teaching him how to be a pro. Talk a little bit about him.
Well, I was so happy for him with that first touchdown pass. It's a great story for, hey, how'd you throw your first touchdown pass? Well, I fumbled the snap. I stood up, ran around, threw it deep. I mean, this is great. And he's playing really well. I think, they did a nice job when they drafted him because all the character issues and all that, what he brings to the table. But he's showing tonight that he can play, and I think that's a great thing.
All right, Matt, thanks. I know a lot of fans are happy to see you here in Columbia Blue tonight. All right, Corey.
All right, thank you, Don. We've got a flag on the play after a 1st down throw from Ponder. It appears we're having a convention at the 30-yard line to figure out exactly what's going to happen after that. It was a gain of 17 yards. Earlier, there was a sack by Zach Clayton, another one of those rookie defensive linemen, and Clayton almost had another one there.
Almost had him. Didn't finish up, didn't wrap up, and Ponder escaped, wrapped around the corner.
There's 36 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, and I think we finally got this figured out.
Personal foul, offense. Number 63, 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's Brandon Fusco, and obviously the penalty had to occur before the play ended. Otherwise, it would have been a 1st down and moved back. Instead, it's still 3rd down and a long way to go.
Christian Ponder's showing more mobility than I thought he had.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
No, he's an athlete now. He can definitely buy time and get outside the pocket and create. But it's the basic plays of 3-step drops, 5-step drops, sitting in the pocket, making throws within the pocket that he may have problems with because of his height. There have been successful quarterbacks like a Doug Flutie, for instance. His size doesn't matter, but given his experience where he was drafted, raises some questions.
2nd penalty of the night against the Vikings. That's it. 3rd and 26. And it's a short throw by Ponder. Didn't look like he really stepped into that one very well.
I think he could have seen. Well, he didn't step into it technique-wise. It didn't look like it was too good, but the receiver was wide open. I mean, that should have been a completion. And again, you know, could he see a clear lane for him to get the football? And those are the questions that you have about Ponder.
Chris Kluwe on to punt. Yamon Figures, who scored that long touchdown tonight, is back to return for the Tennessee Titans. Comes up to the 40-yard line. Gets a block from Myron Rolle. Figures to the 50 and pushed out of bounds. Figures, nice job of picking his way through, but we have a flag on the play. 2 of them, in fact, back by the line of scrimmage. So we'll have another meeting to figure this one out. When, where, who's involved, and just how guilty are they?
Holding, receiving team, number 48, during the kick. The penalty being enforced from the end of the kick. First down.
That's Ryer Greer. Will cost the Titans about 20 yards of field position.
Trying to hold up on that punt to give the returner a good chance to return the ball there, and gets called for the holding.
So the Titans will go back on offense with Rusty Smith back at quarterback. He will not be the last of the Titan quarterbacks tonight. We will also see Brett Ratliff, a second-year man from Utah, at some point in the fourth quarter. But for now, it's Rusty Smith out there with Stephon Johnson at the running back. We've got some other new players in the game. No, that's not Randy Moss. It's Owen Spencer, number 84. But he's got the hair. He's got the look down. He just needs to play. Rusty throws to the tight end, Cameron Graham, and he drops the football. Now, Graham was an all Big East tight end out of Louisville last year. Went undrafted, but he was rated as one of those 5th, 6th, 7th round guys who just didn't go. So they got some value in him as a free agent signee. But his first opportunity goes by with nothing.
You got to make that. If you're undrafted, you got to catch everything that comes your way, because not a lot of room for error.
Draw play to Stephon Johnson. Johnson surging forward. A nice 9-yard gain on what is the last play of the third quarter. And he'll set up the Titans for a 3rd and short when the fourth quarter begins. For now, though, it's the Titans on top 14-3 as we head to the break. You're watching Titans preseason football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network. We start the fourth quarter with the Titans on top of the Minnesota Vikings 14-3 on a beautiful night in Nashville, Tennessee at LP Field. Corey Curtis with Kevin Carter and Eddie George. Guys, we've loved what we've seen so far, but now it's that time. It's fourth quarter. It's time to finish.
Yes, it is. Kevin, you go ahead. You know how to finish games.
You've got to do a good job of finishing. It alludes to the character and the true backbone of your team, how you can finish the game. You know, anybody can go out there and play hard for a couple of quarters, but can you finish the game?
3rd and short, Rusty Smith, hands. That's Herb Donaldson surging forward for a first down. So the Titans keep this drive going, and when you talk about finishing, you need first downs on the ground.
And that's why he has this beautiful Super Bowl ring.
We got a few tweets about this one, by the way, and a few requests to take it off.
Had we finished for the tie of the ball game.
The greatest running back never to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts, big man. But it's okay, though.
First and 10. Rusty Smith rifles it over the middle. That's Kirkendall. James Kirkendall, the rookie from Texas, for a first down. And Rusty Smith shows he's not short on arm as the Titans have drove into Vikings territory after a 15-yard gain. And Rusty Smith in his second year, I know a lot of people, is he on this team? Is he not on this team? I mean, I don't think he's in a position where he can afford a bad preseason.
No, not at all.
Especially with Brett Ratliff, a guy who's been in this league for a couple of years.
We clearly know he's definitely fighting for the third quarterback.
Yes, the battle is for the third job. Absolutely. Herb Donaldson over the right side, but we got a flag on the play. So we'll get that call in a moment, guys. But as we move forward in this game, as the Titans look to build on this performances, what are the points that they're going to build off of?
Personally, I think continuing for defense, they look outstanding.
Is that the most surprising aspect that you saw tonight?
Yeah, it is, because I really didn't expect them to be as aggressive defensively as they were tonight. Very stout up front. You see the big size, the big guys in the middle, but the safety position, the corners, like you talked about earlier, you know, the relationship between the defensive line and the secondary is starting to show. These guys are playing intelligent football.
There's a lot of trust, apparently, already with the coaching staff and with the teammates. Well said, Kevin.
Thank you.
First down, and Rusty throws to Mark Mariani, and Mariani's hauled down at the 41-yard line. But that goes into what you guys were talking about with the offensive line. I mean, the defensive line working with the linebackers in the secondary. You guys have to trust each other to make it happen, because when you don't, that's when you lose gap integrity.
You have
and
to
things
trust
like
each
that.
other, but more importantly, you have to trust the plan that's been put into place. If you're confident in what you're doing, you know your responsibility, you know your leeway, what you can get away with, what you can't. It helps. You trust the plan. You can go out there and let it all hang out.
Kevin Matthews is in at center. We've got flags on the play.
Now the flags come. Just when we were giving them credit.
Well, but that's first preseason game. We got a lot of guys who don't get nearly as many reps.
Number 95.
The Titans are going to get 5. You talk about an interesting situation. I mean, Kevin Matthews, his father is an NFL Hall of Famer and living legend.
I know.
And he's now his position coach. Yeah. I mean, this is an interesting dynamic on this football team.
Yes, how do you coach your son?
But you know what?
And Kevin's battling for a roster spot. Let's be honest.
I asked Bruce Matthews about that very thing. And, his words to me, you know what? I coached his youth football team. I coached him coming up through the ranks. I think he's used to it by now.
Kirkendall from Rusty. And James is taken down after about a 2-yard gain. But Matthews, Kevin worked his way into the practice squad last year. Got to start that last game at Indianapolis at center for the Titans. Played extremely well. Of course, they had that heartbreaking finish where there was a fumble between he and Kerry Collins, and he didn't duck the issue. I still don't know whose responsibility it is, but both of them said it was their fault, which is really what teammates do. But largely, I mean, he really grew in his rookie season and did a fine job. Play action for Rusty. He's got a man in his face and just throws to the sideline. And it's incomplete. It looked like he's called it a catch and then waved it off. Owen Spencer.
Dangerous play there by the quarterback.
He kind of threw that one up for grabs.
If you're going to throw that ball, you've got to throw it out of bounds. I mean, if you're uncertain, you bought yourself a little bit of time. Defensive lineman left his feet. You had a little bit of chance. Take a step to the side, deliver the ball, or get rid of it.
And they're going for it here. Mike Munchak.
I think the fans want Munch to throw the challenge flag out there, but Chris Palmer is going to go for it.
Yeah.
The Titans have spread it around tonight. 10 different receivers have caught passes. And Rusty Smith needs 5. The Vikings are bringing extra. Rusty, a high throw, incomplete. He had Kirkendall. He just overshot him.
Yeah, overshot him. And it looked like he had happy feet. Didn't quite set his feet to get off and deliver a good throw.
So on the change of possession, we will head to break. 11:46 to play. Titans on top, 14-3. You're watching the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee.
LP Field, Titans leading the Vikings 14-3 right now, 11:46 to go in the fourth quarter. Now, I talked a little bit earlier about Vince Young and Steve McNair's stats in their first preseason appearance. They weren't that good. How about Jake Locker? Well, guess what? The Rook turned out pretty well. 7 of 10, 89 yards, and 1 touchdown.
All right, thank you, Dawn. 1st and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings and Christian Ponder. They're running the football on first down, and the Tennessee Titans and Carl Klug and Jarrell Casey are right there. Klug started, and he's still playing. That's what happens when you're a rookie. Now, what Dawn was talking about with Jake Locker, kind of touching off what we talked about earlier in the broadcast, we said don't look too much into the numbers. I think we still have to say that even though the numbers are good, you can't get too excited about them. It is just the first game, and we need to see consistency, and that's going to show later in the preseason, is it not? 2nd down, Ponder, complete to his tight end, and he's into Titans territory. Well, we talked with Mike Munchak about his quarterbacks. He says they're both leaders.
And I had a long talk with him.
for about a half hour or so before we got the deal done, and let him know where he stood and how important he could be to this place. And he's not only a great player, he's going to be a great leader. And people want to talk about leadership all the time. I think both of those quarterbacks are going to be special in that regard. And bottom line has got to win, but I think we have two guys that can win.
Yeah, they believe in these guys. Christian Ponder handing. Nice tackle on the play by Rennie Curran. Alexander Robinson on the carry after a short gain. Ponder so far, guys, 4 of 6, 39 yards.
Well, you talked about Locker, and one of the things I want to see is when he's on the road and how he handles adversity on the road. He doesn't have the ability to stay comfortable at home when things go bad. But when you're on the road, you have that fumble, things go bad, you see exotic blitzes, you don't know where everybody's coming from. How will he handle that? And he showed tonight that he's handled adversity pretty well, but on the road is going to be key.
Ponder throws and complete down the sideline. This one's going a long way. Myron Roll with the tackle. A long gain by Joaquin Iglesias, the first-year man from Oklahoma.
One of those things on defense that you really, really want to guard against are the explosion plays. Runs of 15 yards or more or pass plays of 25 yards or more. Those can really, really transform, change drives, and just put you in the hole on defense.
A gain of 26 yards definitely qualifies as explosive plays, and that sounds like it comes straight out of Jerry Gray's mouth as well. He talked about avoiding explosive plays. This team gave up 260 yards passing a game last season. He knows that number's way too high. Whistles on the play. Yeah, defensively last year, the Titans gave up 252 yards passing a game, 115 yards rushing. When he was at Buffalo, he had that number down around 160.
Wow. Yeah, Jerry Gray, I mean, I was on the team when he was coach here, defensive back coach, and I would go to him and just ask him how he would defend me or defend us, and he would give me good insight on how teams were looking at me as a running back, because he would see me all camp long, and based off of his information, I would try to counter that and say, okay, they're expecting me to run inside, so I'm going to sell the inside and try to bounce it outside and get back upfield again. And just his knowledge and insight, it really helped me out as a young player back then to become the player that I was for the Tennessee Titans.
1st and 14, Ponder on play action. Hall Davis looking for him, and Ponder takes a knee after a short gain.
Learning how to slide for rookie quarterbacks is the first thing you teach them. Because in college, he would have put his head down, tried to spin. In this league,
No, you don't want to do that.
You will wake up next Wednesday wondering where you are exactly. And how old you are. You know?
And on defense, when that quarterback runs, man, your eyes get big and you look to just punish him when he runs out of the pocket. Because most of the time, when he's back there in the pocket, you can't touch him.
Yeah.
I mean, you breathe on him and you get a personal foul.
Yes,
You've been retired for 2 years, and you still sound aggravated about quarterbacks. 2nd and 11. Flag on the play. Ponder looking to the right side. Nice pass defense there by Tommy Campbell, the rookie from California, PA.
I like him. Long kid. Reminds me of Bobby Taylor that played for the Philadelphia Eagles a few years ago. Tall kid out of Notre Dame, lanky, and good speed, good range, good
When
technique.
he started his career at Pittsburgh, they tried to move him to linebacker, which is just mind-boggling to me. Tommy Campbell.
Shift, offense, 2 men moving. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
All right, so that penalty is going to go back. But yeah, Tommy Campbell.
California?
When he was at Pittsburgh, his first 2 years.
Oh, when he was at Pittsburgh.
They moved him to linebacker.
I see why. He's a big kid.
He is long. I mean, he's as big of a cornerback as you'll see. He actually went 2 years.
I didn't know that.
Between his junior year and senior years of college where he did not play football.
I did not know that.
Ponder on 3rd down. Got a screen set up. This one's going to be close. That's Alexander Robinson. Yeah, he missed, he sat out 2 years between his junior year until he went to California, PA for his senior year. He worked a number of jobs, including a janitor at an airport.
Jerry Gray did tell me that. He said that he worked as a janitor in the airport.
For 6 months.
He's hungry.
You talk about a guy who appreciates the opportunity.
Yes.
And you just never know where you can get in life if you stick with it. And here he is tonight playing in an NFL game. 4th down, and the Vikings are going for it. Pressure's on Ponder, and it's dropped incomplete.
Good sound defense. You know, you spoke earlier about the defensive statistics from last season, and allowing over 100 yards per game rushing. Man, you know, you're going to have problems.
Alan Reisner drops it. The Titans will take over when we return on the Titans Preseason Network. Brought to you by. We've got our 4th quarterback of the evening at LP Field. 7:41 to play. Sounds like a good time for Brett Ratliff to get in the game. The second-year player from Utah will take over with the Titans standing at their 15-yard line. Ratliff facing a 4-man front, going to hand to Herb Donaldson. Herb's a bowling ball across the 20 to the 21. And guys, we've given Jake Locker a lot of love tonight, but really a lot of his success can be thanked to number 8, Matt Hasselbeck, who the Titans have brought in here. And from what the Titans said, their practices changed immediately when he came in here, and he got off to a good start tonight.
Yes, he did. You know, I had a chance to talk with Matt prior to him coming to Tennessee out in L.A. at the ESPYs, and I said, you know, Tennessee would be a great fit for you. I said they have a great offensive line. They got Chris Johnson, no state tax. The fans love you, you know, and he was like, well, we'll see. That, you know, I saw that practice, but he's the perfect fit for where the Titans are right now because he's a veteran. He's been an outstanding superstar in this league. He understands offenses, and you know, he's just a great guy in the locker room.
Herb Donaldson carries for 1. Here are the highlights from Hasselbeck earlier in the game. 5 of 6, 55 yards.
Yeah, and he's taking what the defense is giving you. He's playing it safe, checking down to his back spine, his tight end Jared Cook, who's going to be probably his best friend this year. And you have to understand, they've been in practice for 16 days. He's still understanding.
Well, he couldn't practice for the first week because of the new CBA.
And he doesn't understand his receivers yet and what they can do and what the intricacies are and their nuances as receivers and their characteristics. So he's still understanding that.
3rd and 4 for Ratliff, who's going to get a chance to throw, and he dumps it off to Donaldson on the screen. Nice tackle on the play, and Donaldson's going to come up short.
Donaldson got a little greedy. He wanted to bounce outside. He should have challenged the defender, jumped over him, ran through him. He might have came up a little short, but, you know, he saw that outside cut, and he's not Chris Johnson. You're not going to go 80. Just get the first down. Keep the chains moving, you know.
Well, that comes with experience.
Right.
I mean, he'll watch this film and he'll say, you know what, next time I'm going to get the first down.
Get the first down.
Keep the drive going.
Now, 28's out there? Oh, different story.
Well,
yeah, you can do that.
Cord Parks made the tackle. Jamar Johnson is back to return. The Titans are now 4 for 11 on 3rd down after coming up short that time. Kern gets the punt away with some heat on him. Johnson at his 36 makes the first man miss. Headed to the sideline. He's got Kern to beat. Takes it inside where he'll be tackled by Vincent Fuller. Kern did a nice job of slowing him down, but a nice return for Jamar Johnson, and there are no flags on the play. A 35-yard return.
Anytime your punter is making the tackle or slowing him down, it's not a good sign.
Not
Usually
a good sign
indicates that you have a long return.
He did a good job of breaking contain. I mean, everything was flowing to the right. He did a good job of reversing field, coming back toward his left where nobody from the Tennessee Titans coverage team was down there. And again, you know, we have some young guys out there, a little fatigued, and you're going to have that, especially in the 4th quarter of these games, breakdowns, more penalties, and bigger plays.
Because, and the awareness. And the awareness of being in your lanes.
Absolutely.
Coming down the field, like you said.
1st and 10, Christian Ponder still in. He needs another player. Plenty of time to get the playoffs still. Alexander Robinson's in the backfield. From the 24, blocked down at the line of scrimmage. That's big Zach Clayton.
I'm not going to say anything, Eddie. I see you shaking your head. Again, alluding to the height of Christian Ponder, being able to make those quick throws, 3-step drops, having to throw over 6'6", 6'7".
It's going to be a problem. It's going to be an issue for the Vikings, and I think Leslie Frazier might realize that, and he may have to put him in the shotgun on obvious passing downs. It's going to be predictable, but
is he any shorter than Jake Locker?
I think he might be an inch or two shorter than Jake Locker.
Jake Locker's definitely taller than Christian Ponder.
Okay. They're listed about the same. That's why I asked. Pass is complete. Nice tackle on the play. I think that's Anthony Smith.
And he had a receiver in the corner of the end zone, wide open.
Could he not see over the line?
He was play action.
I just threw that one out there.
It was Andre Holmes, number 15, in the corner of the end zone, who uncovered. But he went to the check down. So I think if it slows down for Ponder, he can see the field. Things will slow down for him. He might be able to make those throws. But right now he's having issues getting the ball over the big lineman.
3rd and 9, out of the shotgun. Pressure's on, and he's buying time. Flings it forward. And it's caught on the play, but it's going to be short of a first down.
Like you said,
that's Matt Asiata, the fullback.
They might want to put Jake Locker in the shotgun on obvious passing downs. Makes it a little easier for him to see down the field, but everybody knows he's passing. So
yeah, I mean that creates problems. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here.
It looks like the Vikings are going again. It's 14-3 Titans. We're down to 3:53 left in this football game. Of course, the Titans next week go to St. Louis, town you are familiar with, Kevin Carter, former first-round pick of the Rams.
That was really good to me.
4th and 2. Ponder out of the gun one more time. Blitz is on, and Myron Rolls got him, but Ponder's able to get it away. Incomplete. And the Titans will take over 1st and 10. It's a good play by Roll, but he's got to finish.
Well, Ponder's a pretty good quarterback, but you know what? You've got to do a better job of getting down.
All right, a Florida State connection. Ponder and Roll, 14-3 Titans, 3:30 to play on the Titans. Beautiful night on the Cumberland in Nashville, Tennessee, as the General Jackson makes its way past LP Field. The Titans look like they're on their way to their first preseason victory, up 14-3, 3:32 to play. They've got the football, and we're going down to the sideline to Dawn Davenport after 1st and 10. Herb Donaldson takes it, and I say to Dawn, take it away.
Yeah, guys, I got to make Kevin happy in the booth and go with a defensive guy, linebacker Will Witherspoon, who you actually know Kevin Carter. I think you guys had the same coach at some point, right?
Yeah, we actually had the same high school coach at one point, rather, so it's good stuff, good times.
Kevin's an old guy, though. What are you going on here? You've been in the league now 10 years. You feel good still?
Yeah, feeling great. Just looking forward to, several more years. I don't really set a time limit to how long I want to play the game. I'm going to play until I feel like I'm not ready to play anymore.
Looking earlier tonight at the Titans defense, were you happy with what you guys saw out there? I know that there's been a change of attitude this year.
Yeah, I think we're really happy with what we saw. I think, to come out of that first series, offense kind of had a little hiccup in the middle of it. To stop them and get the ball back, give them another opportunity to go out there on the field, and then to stop them the next series again. I think all that really comes into play, and that's really what we want to be about. I think guys were really hustling on the ball. We were getting things done, and we really kept it kind of kosher as far as what we wanted to do, and everybody was talking. Everybody's working on the same page, which is really important.
I know Jerry Gray is a guy that wants to keep things simple. He said he doesn't want anybody to have to do something that they can't do or they're not capable of. And you guys really seem to embrace him as a coordinator. Your thoughts on him?
Yeah, Coach Gray does a great job with that. I think he always approaches, as you said, that, hey, we're going to make it simple. We'll start from there. We can make it as complicated as we want to after everybody's taking step by step and understanding what they need to do. And, with really just 10 days under our belt, I think we've got really a great grasp of the defense, a great understanding of what we need to do.
It's going to be exciting to watch you guys. Thank you, Will Witherspoon. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thank you, Dawn. We're at the 2-minute warning, so we're going to go take another break here with the Titans on top 14-3. You're watching Titans football on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Preseason Network. Titans 14-3, 2 minutes to play in the preseason opener for both teams. Titan fans, feel the passion, get the gear. Shop the all-new TitansLockerRoom.com. Gear up for the season with sideline hats, tees, and all of your other official sideline gear at TitansLockerRoom.com. Few fans still in attendance as we've made our way to the end of the roster. Guys, we're carrying 90 guys on each team. That's a lot.
It is a lot, but Corey, you know what? I want to go back to that old guy comment from Don. I'm still harping on that. I don't quite understand that.
Third down and 2 to go. Herb Donaldson looking for the first down. puts his hat down and
Good run.
moves forward and moves the sticks for the Titans. It looks like they're going to be able to run it down.
And that's what you're supposed to do. You know, get your head in there, get the hard, tough yards. You know, 3 tough yards for a first down. If it's not there, make a hole.
Well, Chris Johnson has tweeted this evening. He's watching the game and sipping some lemonade. So while he may not be here with his Titan teammates, they are close to his heart.
No, actually, it was raspberry lemonade, right?
Raspberry lemonade.
You can't get it twisted.
Probably in Orlando.
Hey, man, Chris, if he's listening, man, you know, I hope it works out. So I think they got something special here.
I think it'll get worked out. It's just a matter of when the time is right. I mean, you guys know, like with the CBA, things get done when they have to get done, and they will eventually get done for Chris Johnson. Both sides want to see it get done. It's just a matter of getting on the same page and making it happen. The Titans have gotten it done tonight. They have gone to the victory formation in Mike Munchak's head coaching debut. He's getting the congratulations on the sideline, and really, you have to applaud his first game as a head coach. They were organized, they were efficient, and they appeared to be managed extremely well.
Yes, and discipline. You know, that's one thing I saw, especially on defense. Very impressed from last year to this year. Just the energy and the efficiency and the discipline defensively and offensive lines. Very, very impressed.
Definitely a different mentality. I mean, you can tell, you know, the offensive and defensive coordinators, I mean, you know, they have, you know, those plans intact and they're managing it appropriately.
So Mike Munchak, just the 7th Hall of Fame player in NFL history to become a head coach, wins his debut 14-3. More on the Titans Preseason Network next on the Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee Network.